There's a situation where it's worth to pick Tenacity Shard and Runes. I don't know. I think Riot should remove Tenacity Shard and Runes. Who's gonna take this, you know? This is situationally for sure good. But the problem with this is that you need to really just be constantly aware of when this is good. That majority of players, even when it is good, they're just not gonna think about it. Because they never take this rune, so they're gonna forget it exists. You understand? That's the problem. I don't think this Tenacity Shard should even exist. I think this should be replaced by something. And Tenacity should be maybe obtainable in a different way. Maybe it should be more in items, or maybe it should be added back into like legend Tenacity here or something. Like, I don't know, you know? It's tough. What about Moonspit rune? It's very OP, so it's impossible to balance. I also don't think Moonspit Shard is a good idea because it is impossible to balance. Either it is useless and nobody takes it, or it's just OP and everyone should take it. Like right now, I think 2.5% is too high on this rune. And yeah, majority of people still don't take it because they're dumb, you know? I mean, dumb. Like, people need time to actually realize what is strong and what isn't. So there's a weekly, maybe daily at this point, Mel Thread on Reddit again. Mel is once again the lowest win rate, 46%, and simultaneously the highest burn rate champion in the game. Yeah, guys, my turn to post this next week, okay? I mean, the thing is like, what can Riot do, right? What can Riot do? Put yourself into Riot's position. People are crying, people are fuming that Mel is insanely frustrating to play against, even if she's not actually good. Which she isn't right now. Her win rate is way too bad to justify this champ being good. Okay, what can you do as Riot to fix this problem? Because they tried like a reshape where they kinda nerfed her W, put a little bit more power into Q and ultimate and passive over time. They tried all those things. Ultimately, it doesn't really change anything because the whole kit is frustrating. It's not just W, right? People only talk about how Mel W is like the problem. Even if you would remove Mel W, I'm pretty sure, obviously the champ would be a lot less frustrating, but it would still be frustrating to people. It's also about Q and E and R to an extent. So a lot of people have the suggestion of swapping W and R, which is something that happened to Diana and Tahm Kench back in the day. I don't, as much as I think, the problem is that I don't think that would work. That I think about it. The reason why is like, her R, which would be the W, right, if you swap them around, her new W, I think it would just be a completely brain dead spell. Like, what would be her trade pattern? She would in-lane EU, and then Q you, and then auto-attack you, and then W you for free? Like, it's just point-and-click undodgeable damage. Like, that would not make the champion any more fun to play against, because I don't think that the new W would fit the play pattern of the champion. So swapping W and R, I think it's not really a solution. Realistically, what you have to do is, I think you have to chop some abilities and make them different. But you have to understand, Riot has spent months putting resources into making sound effects, into making animations for the spells, into designing her, right? To now just, the champ isn't even out that long, and to know that she already needs that big of scope of changes is very worrisome. Now Riot is saying that they're going to make more changes on Mel and they're working on them. I'm curious what they're gonna be, because the last time they did changes on Mel, I said this champion is straight up nerfed on every ability. Then they had to hotfix buff her because she was just insanely weak. And here we are back. It didn't achieve anything. It's still a problem. Good luck dealing with it, Riot. Definitely made mistakes when we were designing this champion, and yeah. Quickly gonna go over these Zoe changes, some of them being on PB right now. So they seem to be kinda small, but also buffs in certain scenarios. So W is losing 5 base and 5% AP ratio. The AP ratio is not that relevant, again, because this spell is... First of all, it has a garbage AP ratio, and then second of all, it's like, this spell is mega early game skewed, right? Because it's more about the early game damage that Zoe needs. Later on, it's like, you're killing champions with E and Q, you're not killing them with like your W or anything like that. So this spell losing some damage, not sure how much it's gonna matter. E cooldown will go up by 2, at every rank, but the E cooldown is now refunded by 16 to 30% if it hits an enemy champion. So what does that do? It kind of makes the Zoe players be more rewarded if they hit the bubble and be more punished if they don't. Now, what this does is that if you either have enough haste in late game, or if you hit the E through a long wall, you're going to be able to E the opponent twice, right? And sleep them basically permanently, or whatever, however you want to call it. Like, what do I think about these changes? I think it's worrying to put more power into Zoe E, personally. I think Zoe is her strongest spell. I think it is the spell that's gonna define Zoe, and obviously you're not gonna... This is always gonna be true for the champion kit. I just don't see why they wouldn't be buffing Q damage on this champion if they really want to, like, do something. That's what I'm confused about. Shouldn't we be buffing Q damage? You could argue this is a Zoe support buff, right? Yeah, maybe there's gonna be an audience for Zoe support. Honestly, the longer League is as a game out there, and the more I'm thinking about Zoe, the more I actually just think that this champion should maybe just be a support. Because I think on mid lane this champion is, in a way, just getting outdated as time passes. But that's maybe just a me take. What is Riot up to now? Hey folks, as a result of the volatility since January, we're doing a ranked reset for Apex players, Master Plus in NA, EU West, EU Nordic, Brazil, LAN and TR. Affected players will have their visible rank MMR reset to Master 0 LP when patch 26.9 goes live. Learn more in the blog. We've been monitoring the situation by Rod Froxon. We decided to do a hard ranked reset. All current Master, Grandmaster, Challenger players in these regions will have their visible rank MMR reset to Master 0 LP. We know that having a hard reset mid-year is disruptive to climbs. Due to the issue many view and we identified from the start of the year and the disparity between the top and bottom of Apex ladder, this reset should make the rank ladder healthier. Like, will it though? Will it really make it healthier? Like, I don't understand the reset, honestly. Maybe it's gonna make it healthier, but won't a lot of the players just speedrun to 3000 LP again because of absurd gains? Or is this gonna be fixed? Why hard reset with survey, blah blah blah. Because there'll be no memory previous to ranks in matchmaking, you may see yourself in some wonky matchups. For example, you could have 5x challengers versus 5x masters, and that would be considered a fair game in the system. This would be known short-term trade-off. So, I mean, yeah, it will cause a lot of volatility and it will cause a lot of unbalanced matchmaking, which is already happening nowadays, right? I don't even think people care at this point anymore, but they will complain. We'll be increasing the LP gain win-loss to be plus 30 minus 30 LP at the baseline, which will make the climb to top feels less grindy. Yeah, so a lot of people are just gonna speedrun again to like very high amounts of LP. I mean, I just really wonder if the end result will really be the rank ladder being healthier, because I feel like we're just gonna run into the same problems as before at some point. We'll also be increasing the minimum LP cutoffs required in the reset regions to 800 LP for Chal and 400 LP for Grandmaster. One of the criticisms of seasonal rank resets has been how early season lucky win streaks are playing a lot of games. By increasing the cutoffs. You guys are increasing the cutoffs to 800 LP? Well, let me tell you something. The cutoff is gonna go from 800 to 2k in no time. Don't you worry about that. Wait, hold on. We also want to take a moment to acknowledge Apex tier ranked rewards. This reset mixed with a shorter season means that it will hit harder to get back to your peak rank in time. We'll be giving out Season 1 rewards as usual, and then we'll use Season 3 as a final recommendation pass for Season 2 rewards for Apex tier players. And if you hit a higher rank in Season 3, this will also count as your reward for Season 2. Okay, what reward are we talking about? Are we talking about some useless icon, or are we bringing back some challenger backpacks? What's going on here? Ah, nah, they're not doing that. I mean, this reward is probably relevant. Look, here's my opinion. A lot of people are probably gonna go on Twitter now and be like, fuck yeah, they're resetting! Woo, finally! I don't know. I just think, like, I'm not gonna say it's not a positive thing that they're doing this. I just think ultimately the end result would be very similar. And the rank system just needs, I think, a little bit more changes than just a reset. What is going on? Now that they dropped this news, my solo queue teammates don't even play to win anymore. They're just playing to troll. Oh my God, man. Oh, how to ruin my day, bro.